Welcome, everybody. My name's Karen Thompson. I work with Ask Resource Center, and we are Iowa's family support entity for the Early Hearing Detection and Intervention Program, also known as EHDI. And as a part of that program, one of the things that we offer is webinars to help families and providers who work with families to understand and navigate the changes that happen in their lives when they end up with a child who has a diagnosis of deafness or hard of hearing. We're excited to have with us tonight Tina Cloud with the Iowa School for the Deaf, who is the new outreach coordinator there. And I've had an opportunity to get to know Tina over the last couple of months, and she is a fabulous addition to the staff. I'm very excited she's back in Iowa. She's going to talk a little bit about the school and the opportunities that are available around Iowa so that families with new kiddos learn some things that are coming in your future and some opportunities that are available for you. And then we have some students with us tonight who Tina will introduce. And they're going to share a little bit about their own journeys and all of the possibilities that have been available to them and that will be available for your kids. And Tina and students, welcome. Go ahead and start the presentation.
Hello, 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 everyone. I am waiting to make sure that everyone can see the interpreter. My name is Tina Cloud, and I am the outreach coordinator here at the Iowa School for the Deaf. I am thrilled for this presentation tonight. We have two students from ISD, from Iowa School for the Deaf. We say ISD. They are both students and they will share their stories, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about ISD real quick. ISD is a school, it is very special. It is the only school specifically for deaf and hard of hearing students in the state of Iowa. It's located in Council Bluffs, Iowa. That's about 2 hours west of Des Moines. It's really close to the Missouri River, and right across the river is Omaha, Nebraska. ISD has a very large, sprawling campus that has several different buildings all over. And we serve kids who are deaf or hard of hearing with varying degrees of that. You know, some have cochlear implants, some have hearing aids, some don't use any assistive devices, some prefer to speak English, and some prefer to use sign language, and some are somewhere in between. So we have a wide range of kids. We serve students that are ages 2.5 to 22 years old. And we provide direct access for all students. Our teachers, our paras, our speech language pathologists, our audiologists, all of our service providers are fluent in sign language, and they are able to communicate with the students to make sure that they have direct access, direct communication with all of these service providers. We have several different opportunities, different activities we offer. Whatever school you're thinking of in your district has, we also provide. We provide transportation. We have trips to Close Up in Washington, D.C. We have different sports opportunities against other schools for the deaf and other states. We have basketball, we have volleyball, we have track. The kids, our students all have opportunities to be involved in several different activities. So it's pretty fantastic what we're able to offer. if you are wondering about ISD, if it's the right fit for your child, feel free to reach out to us and we can provide a virtual tour or a tour. Our school is provided free for all students. A lot of parents think that it's a private school and they have to pay. That is incorrect. It is free. Students, and you can reach out to your district representative to ask them about ISD as well, and we can get together as a team and talk about what opportunities we have available. So if you could please, you can get in touch with me. Karen can send out my email address to everybody with my contact information, and I will also type my email address in the chat. If you have any questions, you can ask me after our students have had an opportunity to do our presentation. So we have 2 ISD students here with us tonight who are willing to share their experiences and their reasons for coming to ISD. They'll talk about that. And then Karen will also ask some questions of them and they'll have the opportunity to answer. And at the end, we'll open it up for questions from the audience. We have Nikki and Jay, and then we have Austin here with us tonight. Who wants to start sharing your stories? You can go ahead and start. Austin saying, yep, I'll start. I'll share my story. I'm in 7th grade. Well, I was in 7th grade when I came to ISD. And I was really excited because it was the first time I was at a school for deaf students, with deaf students. I was nervous because I didn't know how to communicate with them when I first showed up. And then I met a few friends and they started to help me and push me and encourage me to really enjoy my time at ISD. And it's been 6 years since I started at ISD. And I feel like it is a really good school and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Before that, my experience at school was not great. My experience before ISD. So my mom found out that ISD could be a good school for me, and I made the choice. I could either stay at the public school or I could go to ISD. And I decided to go to ISD. And it's been a really good school and it has helped me a lot. I knew it would when I started. And I have really enjoyed all of my time at ISD because I have good grades, I have good self-esteem. Since I have started attending, I have been able to be involved in sports. And I'm doing just a lot of activities. I've joined a lot of clubs. And just being at ISD has inspired me and helped me see what I can be in the future. So I really, really have enjoyed my 6 years here. And unfortunately, I'm a senior this year. But it's been very inspiring. I just feel like ISD has helped me tremendously. And I love all the teachers. I love all my friends that I've met here. And I enjoy hanging out with them, being able to communicate with them. I just feel like it's been perfect. I mean, it's the most exceptional school. And I feel like I didn't always pay attention in school, but now that I've come to ISD, teachers see when I'm not paying attention. They come and they help me and they support me, so I understand what the lessons are happening. Before I moved to ISD, I used mainly English. When I moved here, I realized that American Sign Language was an option as well, and that has really, really helped me. And I have learned that, and I am very happy, and I am on par with my peers. And I know that deaf can. I know that I can. I don't give up. And I feel like I have a lot of support, and I feel like I can support my family, and I have support from my friends, and I don't want to leave. I want to stay here. And it feels like it was the only choice I had. But I'm really thankful for ISD for all of the help that they have provided me. And that's my life here. Thank you, Austin, so much for sharing. Now let's give it to Nikki, but we're gonna hold on and switch interpreters real quick.
Well, is it okay if I talk? My ASL is kind of...
Sure, I'll interpret, no problem. Yep.
So, how I started, how I came to ISD is I'm Nicole Jorgens. I'm a senior at ISD now. It first started when... Sorry, I just got a text. It first started when I went into a meeting, a annually meeting with my parents and my team, who would help me with academically with my school, at my old school. There I was doing okay. I was getting B's, C's. It was okay, but not my best. So during the meeting, my mom heard about this school of Iowa School for the Deaf. At first, when I learned about it, I was like, no, I'm fine at my old school. I'm doing good. I have a plan out for my future. But the more my mom talked to me and my dad about the school, the more I got interested in it. And I got to actually get a tour of the place with my parents. And I can tell you, I was nervous. I only knew the ABCs in ASL. I didn't know barely any signs. So I had to use my phone to talk to the students here at ISD the first time. I met a girl named Sterling. She helped me a lot, talked about ISD a lot, and that helped a bunch. And I also met the teachers and the principal and the assistant principal, who were really nice and of course helped the students a lot. And my mom said after the tour, you have two choices. You can either choose ISD or stay at your old school and continue on with your life. I decided to choose ISD, and at first, a fight. It was a long process because I can't remember who, whatever, but my team wanted me to stay at Eagle Grove, my old high school. And where I was doing okay, but my mom and dad weren't having it and I wasn't having it. So we started fighting them. And then my teachers heard about it and my principal heard about it and my friends heard about it, and they started supporting me and my family to help me go to ISD. It was a long process, but I finally made it. And at first, I was shy because I didn't know anyone. And it was around my 8th grade. Yeah, 8th grade. No. Sorry. Trying to remember. 9th grade, I think. Or was it? It was 10th. 10th. It was 10th. Sorry. It's been a long time. But it was the middle of the year and it was wonky, of course, when it started. But the more I talked to the people, the more I got accepted into that place, the more I felt accepted into that place. And I didn't feel like a stranger in a hearing world. The classes were very helpful. They were smaller instead of big. You can get a one-on-one with teachers. You can ask questions and not be scared because of the students. That really helped me because I started getting A's and B's now, and I even get straight A's sometimes. And my peers and teachers recommended me doing rewards and sports, and I got into sports and the competitions. I have played volleyball and I've done writing competitions, which helped me on my resume too. And they teach you that. ISD teaches you that. So that's a big help. And now I'm on my last year here, and it's kind of sad that I have to go, of course. This place has been big help with me and all that. So, and a little funny thing about what happened when I first got here, the first few days. My mom called me every night to see how my day was, see how everything was going. At first I was like, oh, she's just checking up on me. But now I'm like, can you stop? Trying to talk to friends here, trying to chill. So now my parents are especially happy because me have this glow about me, because every time when I go home, I get to tell stories about my adventures here at ISD, where I got to go, what I got to do, who I got to meet, who I talked to. And it's really fun to do that, because at first I was awkward, of course. Austin that too. Austin knows. But yeah, it's been great.
Thank you, both of you. I get chills listening to your stories. I have some questions for you. And the first question is, what are your plans after high school?
Yeah, I'd like to join the program. It's called the 4+ program. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be joining the 4+ program. So that program itself teaches how you get a job, what your career will be like, the next steps. So yeah, that I think will help me kind of prepare for the next big jump in life into the world. And yeah, obviously, I'm going to be going to going to college, a community college or a free tuition college. So that'll be good. And yeah, so yeah, and we'll see how long the process, but a 2-year for sure.
Great. Do you know which school you're going to go to?
It'll be the same. I'm just here, and it's in the next building to get started for the 4+ program. It's here, so I'll be going there.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and then the college, it's IWCC, Iowa Community College.
Great, thank you. There are a lot of community colleges around the state that offer 4+, so I wondered which one you were going to.
Yeah.
Thanks, Austin. Nikki?
My plans are after high school to hopefully go into a community college in Mason City called North Iowa Community College. So I would be hopefully majoring in theater and acting and psychology.
That's exciting. You both already have some set plans for your future. Another question that one of our parents sent in to us ahead of time was if you could give advice to a child and their parents that are just starting their school journey, what would you tell them?
I think I would, just encourage them just to make a plan, make a future plan, and, learn. Just be open-minded to learn about the options and working together with the team. I think that would be my advice.
For me, I would say don't be scared. Don't be afraid to step over that line. I know it's going to be hard, and trust me, I know. But it's okay. You're going to make a few mistakes. It's just human. But at first, you would want to give up. You would want to just ask for help whenever it is. And that's fine to ask for help. You should. But don't be afraid to look at the options that's there for your child or for you. Because when at first I didn't want to go to ISD, but the more I looked into it, the more I wanted to go because there was more possibilities for me, and there is for that child or for you.
Okay, this question might have a similar answer to it. When some parents think about their children learning to be their own advocates, they worry about their kids being able to do that. Did you struggle with that? And what thoughts do you have about being your own best self-advocate?
Yeah, I think I would have told my mom and dad, my parents, I'll be fine. I think you kind of go through a lot, and it is a hard time. But I think that just encourage them that they can do it. They will be fine. They will be able to. they will find jobs. They will be able to advocate for themselves. And I think, yeah.
Don't coddle your child, if you know what I mean. You want to be there, yes, and you should be there, but you should also set boundaries as a parent. If they're young, I understand that, sure, but they grow up, get to a certain point of age, they should learn, get in the meetings, get in all the hearing stuff, all the everything. But I know some people think, oh, they can't drive, they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't play sports. But your child can prove them wrong, like me and Austin and many others. So you need to build up your strength, find out what they like to do, and build on that.
I was just going to add also to that really quick. Yeah, I think that I have a lot of staff and faculty that also support me and give me that encouragement. So I think sometimes if parents are feeling maybe like I'm alone or that I don't have any support or help, the dorm staff, there are support staff on campus and there are people there to encourage you to, so that you can self-advocate. That way we learn how to be comfortable and we learn how to feel like we're confident and we can do it.
So I don't know if you guys know, but there is a dorm on the ISD campus, and there are staff there in the ISD dorm that will help the students, so you don't have to worry about your students and stuff, and they will check up on the students for you and whatever, your child. So I just wanted to clear that up in case you were confused with staff.
Thank you. That's helpful. Okay, so this next question has to do more with what life was like maybe before you came to ISD and you and your families had to advocate for IEPs or interpreters, those kinds of things in your school systems. What was it like getting services, and what advice do you have for families around that?
Well, before I was at ISD, when I was at a public school, they had to provide an interpreter because that helped me understand what was being said in the classroom. And I feel like if everyone was talking at the same time, the interpreter was signing, sometimes I would get confused. But after that, when I moved to ISD, everything completely changed. Everyone was talking, there was no interpreter, just one person was talking, there's no interpreter, and I felt like because the teacher knew sign language, it was a better place. And it just felt so cool. I could understand it better. I could understand the lesson more clearly, and I felt a greater connection to education. And sometimes there's an interpreter in the class as well for maybe a visitor or someone there on business or something.
Can you say the question again? I forgot it.
Before you came to ISD and you and your family had to put services together and partner with your school around IEP teams, interpreters, things like that, what was it like getting those services put in place?
when I was little and throughout my journey through elementary, middle school, and high school, my mom was mostly the point person in my family with my hard of hearing, and that put a lot of stress on her. I know that. But with the services, since I'm hard of hearing, I didn't really need or have an interpreter. I could have one, but I chose not to. But I did choose to have some guidelines or rules in classrooms for me when I go to school. Just some of them were I have to sit where the teacher is clear that I can see or hear. Um, the Sorry, I'm just forgetting some of them right now. That was one of them. The second one was to have you know, guideline of what was going to happen in that class. And then the third one was I would have the microphone. It's kind of like a necklace, but it connects to my hearing aid and acts like a microphone. The teacher would wear that. And that would help me hear in class a lot. And it was basically my go-to tech for classrooms and meetings if I had any. So, but do you want me to ignore that or?
We'll go to that one next. Keep going.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay.
A little funny thing, when I was in high school, somebody stole my charger to that microphone. So we had to set some guidelines for that. And that was kind of a pain. But later on, my peers, the students, actually became curious to what was in my ears, what was getting passed around, what were the teachers wearing. And I taught it at my old school, at what that was. And that helped me a lot, but that also helped a lot because the students knew, oh, I should be quiet during class. And once they learned about the microphone that's connected to my hearing aid, the whole entire school district in my town and me started making jokes with it. Yeah, so that's also one of that. But I didn't really have any hard time with getting services because I would always advocate for myself, or my mom would always advocate for myself when I was little. So it wasn't that hard, but it was definitely a pain.
Takes extra time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to open up some questions from the audience. So if you have a question, you can type it in the chat, or you can turn your camera on and your microphone on to ask the question. And while people are thinking about their questions, I'm going to read the one that is in the chat right now. Tammy says, if you feel comfortable sharing, do you utilize cochlear implants or hearing aids? Did your parents sign with you from a young age? How did you learn sign language? And then she says, thank you for sharing your story. As a parent of a young boy who has profound hearing loss, it's so helpful to hear your stories.
Austin saying, well, yeah, I'm comfortable sharing. I can tell you, I when I learned sign language, when I was in the public school, I was in a special class, and they taught sign language, but it was an English-based system. It wasn't American Sign Language. It was inaccurate. And so then when I went to a different public school when I was in 5th grade, they changed to teaching me in American Sign Language and ASL. And then I started to learn and pick that up. And the English sign system went out the window, and I was using American Sign Language full time after that. So that's how I learned sign language, to answer that part of the question.
For me, I utilize hearing aids. I have hearing aids. But soon I'm gonna get a cochlear implant on my left side, which is nerve-wracking, but exciting. When I was little and I had my hearing aids and all that, my doctors and parents thought I would go deaf, fully deaf, at a young age. So they taught me the ABCs, but later on I didn't go fully deaf. So they stopped teaching me ASL. And I kept on using the sound system and the hearing aids. Then when I switched to ISD, I stopped using the microphone. I took it, but I rarely use my hearing aids here. But the ISD taught me ASL correctly. And my mom became very interested in ASL, and now I teach her some signs when I am home on the weekends. So that's how I picked up signs here and there, but now I'm becoming more fluent in ASL.
Tina, I have a couple of questions for you as well. Hi.
Yeah.
You have such a pretty Christmassy mantle behind you there with the plants and things.
Thank you.
What advice do you have for families who need to advocate for their kids in public schools around IEPs, interpreters, anything relevant to needed services and supports?
That's a really good question. And both students answered it really well, I thought. It's important that parents know their rights. That's the most important thing, that they know their rights. And they're the one that knows their child the best. They're the one that knows what their child needs. And the IEP team should include teachers, parents, interpreters, people that already work with that deaf child. So it's important that they are looking at the child as a whole. And so my advice is to not look at the data, the numbers, and get stuck in the statistics, but look at the child as a whole person. Are they happy? Are they socializing? Are they with their peers? Are they doing well emotionally? All of that needs to be looked at to know them as a whole person. And then you can look at what they need. And when that is provided, the child will feel good and feel good about themselves and be able to fully interact at school and be able to fully participate. And they'll become their own self-advocate. And Austin and Nikki both talked about their experiences and how they advocated for themselves, and when they're like, especially when their parents gave them the option, do you want to stay at this school or do you want to go to ISD? And they both picked ISD, and that making that choice was a self-advocacy experience. And so just that the parents even asked that is amazing.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Something. Tina, you reminded me about the mental problem too. So at my old school, I would always feel left out because I would always miss information. But to the parents of a deaf or hard of hearing child, I want you to know that kid feel hopeless and it will suck. But as long as you are there and not looking just at the data, you are looking at how the kid feels too, that will help a lot. Because sometimes I don't think my parents listen to me sometimes, but I love them and they love me. It was hard to talk because I didn't feel like anyone was listening to me. I was hard of hearing. They thought, oh, or something like that. But I know that's not the truth because I just had to speak up. You're getting hard of hearing or being deaf, your child, and don't be scared of that. Just try to help along. And it will be hard because, trust me, it's going to be a long, hard journey for that child's life. But as long as you're there supporting every need and every want, whatever, you will have a happy child.
Tina, one more question for you. There are opportunities for kids around the state if a child and the family decide that maybe living at ISD isn't right for them in that moment. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, sure. Sure, yeah. ISD, we're aware, you know, it's a little far from some families' homes. Sometimes it's 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours away. I mean, we have a very large state. We have dorms, and the kids can go home on the weekends. People who work at ISD, they're fantastic. They're wonderful people. We have a great group here. Most are deaf. They're fluent in American Sign Language. They communicate so beautifully with the kids. And, you know, the parents can contact the students anytime. The students can contact the parents anytime. And if the parents don't want to move or they don't want to move their whole family, we get that. And you know, if they feel like, oh, we're going to have to stay at our public school, really it's your family choice. But still reach out, still be open-minded, and still, you know, we offer a lot of different resources and clubs, online opportunities for students to interact and to meet with other students at ISD. So that's also an option. That way they have the opportunity to chat. We also have camps, summer camps, and the kids can come and stay for a week to kind of get the feel, just to experience what it's like at ISD, to socialize with other students that are just like them, just to kind of gain a little bit of experience. And we offer ASL classes for parents. And the parents, you know, they don't even have to have a student at ISD. We have parents from all over that come. There's no cost for them to come and take our ASL classes. ISD, all the people are very, we're comfortable with any questions or any kind of communication, or there's no stupid questions. Our programs and resources are not only for ISD students, it's open for the community.
Thank you. Does anybody have any last questions for Tina or our students? Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I hope you have a safe, happy, healthy holiday season. And thanks, Tina, Austin, and Nikki, for sharing with us today. It's been really beautiful to hear your stories, and I'm sure that you guys have some pretty amazing futures in front of you. So I hope you stay connected and let us know what your next steps are like. Maybe we'll have you back to talk about college life.
I think that's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.